Welcome back to more Super Mario Galaxy. Last time, we finished up the Space Chunk Galaxy, so this time, we're continuing to make our way through the Battlerock Galaxy. Our next star is breaking into the Battlerock. This is honestly a really memorable mission in both good ways and bad ways. We are now introduced to Bob-ombs, who originally debuted in Super Mario Bros. 2. Basically, if you run into a Bob-omb, you can pick it up and then you can shake the controller or press Y or X to throw. It can be a little bit tricky at first to line up Bob-omb throws, but you will end up getting used to this by the end of the Balrok Galaxy. But we now have access to another launch star. And we have a series of interconnected orbs with a rainbow star, a bunch of chain chomps, and another Bob-omb dispenser. We also have a Luma that's stuck over there, so let's actually free them. We'll deal with the hungry Luma a little bit later. For now, let's head over to this Luma, toss a bomb, and set it free. Phew, that was scary. As my way of thanking you for the help, I'll make a shortcut for you. Transform! Alright, so that took us to this minefield. There's a one-up under this crate. Totally not ominous. But let's carefully make our way through this very dangerous area. I almost feel like I'll take more damage if I go for all the extras. So we'll actually bypass the life up and the one-up for now. So we have a warp pipe over there, and a switch on top of this. This is actually really hard to jump on top of, to be honest, especially as Mario. I'm actually curious to see if Luigi has an easier time activating the switch by comparison. Again, it's actually kind of nice playing as Luigi because I'm used to playing this as Mario, so there's a lot to experiment with in terms of like the jumping physics and things like that. Yeah, Luigi has no problem making that. And that gives us star bits. Not really worth it, to be honest, at least for Mario, because of how much trouble he has reaching that. So a Luma is actually stuck inside that crystal. The Bob-ombs are actually now walking around, which is a little bit scarier than when they were just kind of sitting in one spot, waiting to be picked up. But breaking this gives us access to this. This is a cannon. Unlike Mario 64, the cursor actually is an accurate representation of where it will fire you, instead of having to aim higher than you would think. So I actually really like the cannons in this game compared to in 64. It also uses motion controls, which isn't super great for some things, but I actually feel like for cursors, it's actually not bad. And freeing the Luma, we now have a launch star. So we have the very fun task of taking a Bob-omb throughout this area. It's actually not as hard as I thought it was. For some reason I remember that being super difficult, but I might be thinking of something from Galaxy 2, where you have to basically take a Bob-omb somewhere. We have to time this. carefully to avoid hitting any of the barriers. Right about now. You got a star, breaking into the Battlerock Galaxy. High score updated. You increase your star bit count. Alright, so let's head over to the Battlerock Galaxy once again. One thing worth mentioning is that the hidden stars are not indicated until you basically finish the area, so there is clearly a Hungry Luma in this stage, so let's actually head back into this particular mission. Breaking into the Battlerock. Like before, I'm going to go out of my way for star bits this time, because I do not remember how much this Hungry Luma needs. That Bob-omb did not end up where I thought it would, to be honest. And that was not close enough. I'm actually going to go for the lower cage first, just because it's a little bit harder to reach. Actually, it rolled over there no problem, so that made my life a little bit easier. For that one at least, but this one still needs to be broken. Again, I probably don't need to be this meticulous with star bits, but again, it's better to err on the side of caution because again, even if you have more than you need, you can always use them for the Comet Observatory Hungry Lumas. And by the way, there is still a Hungry Luma at the Comet Observatory that we'll need to feed at some point. I can't say I'm exactly looking forward to the next mission, but we'll get around to that soon. So instead of rescuing that Luma, we want to break the cage with the Rainbow Star instead. And then use the Rainbow Star to break all the Chain Chomps as quickly as possible and get all the star bits from them. And once we get through this, we should have enough to feed the Hungry Luma. By the way, if you run for a certain amount of time, you actually speed up a little bit with the Rainbow Star, which is actually kind of standard for the stars in Mario, where if you gain enough speed, you actually do move a little bit faster. This is actually very disorienting, going this quickly around such a small planet. Hey you! Yeah, you, got any tasty star bits? If you feed me a bunch of star bits, I'll burst with snacky happiness and then transform. I'm famished. I need 30 star bits to curb the hunger pangs. That's it, I'm stuffed. Here we go. Transform! A new planet was born. I'm realizing I, for some reason, think all of these need way more star bits than I remember. Or than they I remember them needing a lot more star bits than they actually do. This is the ammo depot, not a garbage dump. What, do people think they can just toss their trash here and it'll magically disappear? Hey, we have plenty of bombs. Maybe you could use them to blow up all this trash. Gee, thanks. This might be one of the most infamous parts of this game in terms of the amount of precision it requires. Basically, you want to toss the Bob-ombs to the little gold spots on the floor that would normally give you coins. You don't have to be overly precise for now, but it can be a little bit tricky to actually figure out that you need to line up with the coins. Who knew that bombs work so well as an industrial strength cleaner? Thanks, I owe you big. Oh, I know. Take this. I just found it lying around. Maybe it will help. Thanks, you really helped me out there. And our reward for our efforts is another star. You got a hidden star. Balrok's garbage dump. Battlerock Galaxy. High score updated. You increased your star bit count. Alright, so we now have the actual third star of Balrok Galaxy. And it's Top Maniac and the Topman Tribe. One thing I was just thinking about, because I find myself instinctively pressing R, it's actually a good idea to keep that in mind. By the way, we have Monty Moles now. Basically, you have to use a ground pound to knock them off balance, and then spin or jump on top of them to defeat them. Overall, not too difficult to defeat. But yeah, I basically press R constantly. And this is kind of a habit I picked up like a long time ago with like Skyward Sword. When you're using a pointer, you basically just calibrate it to the screen, or the sensor bar position. But with gyro aiming, which is what this is basically using, you instead have to use position-based motion tracking, which is not as reliable. It tends to get off center from moving it around. So I just instinctively reset the calibration like constantly. So we have another Luma that's trapped in a cage. We also have a life up mushroom up here, if we can reach it. And we have an enemy. First, let's talk to this Luma. The power lines are keeping my friend locked inside. Hit them with something to cut off the power. Gee, I wonder what we have to hit into the power lines. How about this enemy? Thank you. Oh, sweet freedom. I'll show you a shortcut as your reward. And... transform! Alright, so we're on this little platform with another... That's actually a Rocky Wrench, isn't it? Not a Monty Mole. Two somewhat similar enemies, but I think they are technically different enemies. We have a warp pipe. And we have these little arrows that if we spin into, it'll basically change the gravity orientation in that particular spot. We have a fire bar with a very precariously placed block with star bits. I think I'll pass, to be honest. Again, Luigi can actually jump high enough to like skip large portions of the stage. Let's actually go through this slightly as intended. At least I think that's actually where you're supposed to go. I actually don't fully remember, to be honest. So we have this that reveals a bunch of star bits. Again, a lot easier to pick up and a lot less scary. Here, you basically have to go along the lower route and then wall jump up to the one-up mushroom. I'm going to pass on that, to be honest. So yeah, this is roughly where we're supposed to go. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky because you have to avoid getting pushed into the red section, and then you'll fall back down. I assume you could also get the 1-up that way by just falling from above. But again, you could probably wall jump that if you time it right. So yeah, we could have skipped all of that because we're Luigi and he can jump ridiculously high. Alright, so we're up here now. We have these crushing platforms now. Basically, the red platforms will crush you, the other ones will not, which is a good visual indicator. And we have our way out. We have another one of these little electric enemies that launch these little shockwaves. We also have a block. I don't remember what a lot of blocks have, to be honest. I guess that was just star bits. There's also some like under the grating. Alright, so we have more of these little spinner enemies that we can knock into the electric fields in order to deactivate the fields and defeat the enemies, so definitely worth doing because you have 2 benefits. Alright, so we have a lot more enemies to deal with. Let's just pass them by for now and make our way up here. This is new. Luma Lee, Luma Bop, welcome to the Luma Shop. I can sell you something helpful for only 30 star bits. Which will it be? Alright, now fill me up with exact change. Ooh, so full. Now I'm feeling great, so here I go. Transform! So you can pay Luma shops to get either life-up mushrooms or 1-up mushrooms. Neither are particularly helpful, especially because I already have a life-up mushroom. But just to demonstrate that that's how the Luma shops work. We have an ominous shadow flittering about over here. Alright, so here's our boss. Basically, this is kind of like the other top enemies, except with an extra step. We can't attack the sides directly. We have to jump on the flashing red spot on its head first, which is apparently harder than I thought it was. I don't remember ever having this much trouble in this fight. Alright, so that's 1 hit. There's also the smaller spinner enemies that are kind of bouncing us around. Obviously, we have to avoid electricity while dealing damage to the boss. And we have 1 more cycle, except now they're the full-sized top enemies as well. Let's actually get them out of the way to make this a little bit easier. And we have another star. You got a star! Top Maniac and the Top Man Tribe. Battlerock Galaxy. High score updated. You increase your star bit count. We still have a Daredevil Comet here, so let's actually go somewhere else for now. We have a hungry Luma to feed. Hey you! Yeah you! Got any tasty star bits? If you feed me a bunch of star bits, I'll burst with snacky happiness and then transform. I'm famished. I need 400 star bits to curb the hunger pangs. That's it, I'm stuffed. Here we go! Transform! The Sling Pod Galaxy has appeared. Oh boy, this'll be fun. This star is a very sticky situation. I'll be honest, I am a little bit nervous about this one. This is still using the sling pods from the Space Chunk Galaxy, but this actually requires a little bit more precision. There's no, like, planets around, so we actually have to be very careful with lining up shots. We also have, like, cannons all over the place and all this other nonsense to dodge along the way. So yeah, this is definitely a test of your sling pod abilities, and I'm not confident, so yeah, this will be fun. This is actually the best stage for farming starbits, though, because every time you die, you actually keep the starbits you've collected up to that point. So what people do is they actually deliberately hit a checkpoint, and then collect all the starbits around the level, and then intentionally lose a life, and then basically recollect all the starbits. I am not going to use that strategy quite yet. I probably will end up doing that later, in case I need starbits at a later time, but for now, let's just play through the level properly. I also feel like I have more trust issues with the control setup of this version in comparison to the Wii version, just because, again, the way the cursor works differently as an actual cursor versus with gyro aiming in this, which is not as trustworthy. I don't know if the fire can hurt you, actually, so I'm being a little bit careful. You got a star, a very sticky situation. Sling Pod Galaxy. Galaxy complete. High score updated. Increase your starbit count. But yeah, without even using the life trick, we ended up getting back about half of the starbits we spent to unlock that galaxy. So yeah, if you actually intentionally lose a life, and you can basically farm lives that way and starbits. So yeah, it's a great way to easily get starbits if you need any. Alright, so we have another new type of comet, the Daredevil Comet, which is now in orbit around the Battlerock Galaxy. This is Top Maniac's Daredevil run. In Daredevil Comet stages, you have 1 hit point. This is actually surprisingly generous that you don't have to go through the entire stage, you only have to defeat the boss. I almost jumped right into the laser, so that's why I hesitated a little bit. So it's the same boss fight as last time. Basically, we need to land 3 hits, or knock Top Maniac into the electric fences 3 times, and that's about all there is to this. Overall, this is actually a pretty good introduction to a Daredevil Comet in that it's not overly difficult. I say as I almost immediately hit the electricity. And we have another star from Top Maniac. You got a star. Top Maniac's Daredevil Run. Battlerock Galaxy. You increase your star bit count. We are almost done with the fountain, so let's actually save this for next time. Instead, go to here. The Hurry-Scurry Galaxy. Our only mission here is Shrinking Satellite. The floor falls away when you step on it. Be careful! So yeah, as soon as you step on a floor tile, it will disappear. So you have to kind of hurry along. They do give you a little bit of time to stand on it, at least. I tried walking along the path, but it started disappearing with every step I took. It's dangerous, I tell ya. So we actually need this platform to fall. So we have to collect all of the music notes around this planet. For some reason, this reminds me a little bit of Blue Sphere from like Sonic 3, actually. I think it's the whole going in circles around the planetoid, collecting items, also the checker pattern. And now that we found all the music notes, all we have to do is fall into the star. You got a star. Shrinking Satellite, Hurry-Scurry Galaxy. Galaxy complete. High score updated. You increase your star bit count. So we have cleared out the fountain, except for the final area. Bowser's Star Reactor, which we'll be tackling next time. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Super Mario Galaxy.